We are going to start the afternoon with a very short Q&A with Joe Absalom and Ian McNeice, Bert and at-large from Doc Martin. Ron Santora has graciously agreed to put himself in the position of being the moderator. As you may not know, Ian has gone on record as talking about what a wonderful person Joe is. And here's just a quick shot of what Joe has to say about Ian.
Oh no. Ian is cool. I work with Ian. He plays my dad. And Ian is insufferable. Quite frankly, he's very difficult to work with, very demanding. And we always have to film him first, as he gets tired. And then I just sort of mop up the pieces, whatever's left after.
Ron Santora interviews Joe Absalom and Ian McNeice.
Okay, in the United States, we've got a little thing called equal time, so now it's your time to respond to what Joe had to say.
Is this right?
Delighted by what he has to say. It's all true, which is a bit of a worry. So. No, I have to say that I have 3 children of my own, but now I have 4. Because Joe has become the son that I always wanted.
Yeah. Can I have some more money?
Yeah, no.
Some pocket money.
No, he's an absolute delight, I have to say. And joy to work with. We look forward to going to work together, which is great.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I look at the series, and I think everyone out here looks at this series, we see an ensemble cast that has come together that really is an amazing group of people. You know, tell us more about that and how it's all kind of come together.
Well, they just sort of ring us up, really. And then we go to Cornwall, and it's a very nice place to work. It's not really like work, really. It's sort of like a holiday. And I think that comes across sometimes. It's not a particularly difficult job, is it? No, acting is just...
It's basically a family unit, but because we go down, it's like, we've been doing it now for about 10 years, so basically the whole crew turn up. It's like seeing family again, it's like seeing old friends again. And the cast get on very, very well, and it's a very happy show, and it actually transposes back into what you see as well.
And those that haven't been so easy to get on with, don't come back. Yes. Well, that's what I've noticed anyway, so I'm very, very polite to Mr. Gloom and his wife, Philippa, because she produces it. So I always like to send a Christmas card, and, you know, maybe a little gift or something.
Well, when you finished the first season, the filming and so on, did you have any idea that it would go on as long as it has?
Yes, I knew it would. No, you have no idea. When they sent the script, they said it's like a story about a sort of city doctor who goes to a small town. And you kind of think, oh, that's a premise that you've seen in many fish out of water. You know, I mean, it's not a new concept, is it? Taking someone and putting them in a different environment and watching them struggle. So I didn't have I didn't think it would be very good, if I'm honest.
What's fascinating is just how you Americans have taken to it, because we, when we've been making it for the last few years, you turn up in your droves. I mean, every day of filming that we have in the village, there are at least about 200 or 300 or 400 people watching us film, and they all come and say they come from Pennsylvania, or they come from this, or they come from that. And there was this one woman who turned up to and she said to me, she said, can I ask you a question? And she was American, and I said, sure. She said, now, are you a professional actor, or are you just a local that's been brought in to add a bit of color to the whole thing? And I looked at her and I thought, now, how do I respond to this? Should I actually, and I said, well, I think I'm going to take this as a compliment, because if you think I'm just a local, then I must be doing something right. But something made me, I said, I am a professional. I have to say that I am a professional. But it got me at the time.
Well, you were telling some interesting stories the other day about the fact that not only in the US and the UK the series is popular, but what's happened worldwide? Tell us about that.
Well, they watch it in other countries.
For example,
Australia watches it, and Canada, and then some.
But in France, Spain, and Germany, they not only bought our show and then they've dubbed it into their own subtitles, but they have now their own versions of it. So they bought the format. So there is now a German, French,
Dr.
and Spanish
Martens.
Dr. Martin. And there's a bird and there's an owl, and we're all over the place. You know, they've got their own versions of it, which is hysterical. And I've just been to Australia and New Zealand, and the amount of people come up there and now say that they love it too. It really, I mean, it's a gift that keeps on giving. And I did a chat, an online chat with on Skype with this one fan who said, please can I talk to you because I have this myriad of fans over the world. And I sat down there for 2 hours and we chatted with 17 people on the Skype, all from all over the world. It was like, there were people from Chile, from Australia, from New Zealand, all over England. I was speaking to New England, my own country, which was funny. But no, amazing, amazing. I mean, it really has taken off, and thanks to you too for showing it here. Yeah. And it's spreading, and thank you.
Well, you know, just getting to you kind of personally, in a sense, you have children who actually live in the bush. Well, how did that come about?
Well, that's because my wife wanted to go and live in Africa when she didn't want to live with me anymore. So that's what she did. And she, you know, she wanted to get far away, and she got far away. She ended up in Botswana, and you know, that was fine, because I wanted a little distance, and I got it, quite frankly. But she took the kids out there, and the kids all lived, she fell in love with a line researcher, and they lived in the bush, on the campus for 10 years, and she homeschooled them. Not only did she homeschool them, she got one of them into a scholarship to Stanford, and another one to Santa Barbara, so she did a good job, I have to say, so all my thanks to her for that.
And you've got 3 children, tell us about them.
What, about the kids?
Yeah.
Well, they're very small. They have not gone into Harvard yet, or Stanford, or anything.
They're on the way.
They're pretty useless at the minute. But they're great, they're just very small. So it's quite nice to be away from them and have a few days off.
Joe, what's going to happen?
The baby's crying.
What's going to happen when you turn back home in the morning?
Yeah, I think I'll get just given the baby, and because the baby's teething at the minute. So it's quite nice to wake up and not have someone crying. Only me.
Yeah, that's about when you're that age.
But it's good fun. It's just. But part doing the show, this series, I took all the family with me. So I got my little girl into the school there, and in London the school is like 500-600 kids. But in Port Isaac, where we film, it's 50 kids. So in her class, there's seven other kids, and they're all boys. So she came back over there and she drew a tank. And
during the
she's
summer,
never drawn a tank.
When we worked out in Port Isaac, we are inundated with requests for opening dog shows and baits and all things to do with country down there. And Joe and I have got to do a lot of charity work that we do there too. And I'm now taken to, because we have our photograph taken endlessly, I carry a bucket with me now. And I said, just put £1 in there, £1 in there for every photograph is taken. We're going to, you know, 700, 800 pounds in a short space of time, all goes to charity, to the lifeboats, or to this.
Did it go to charity?
Well, some of it.
Okay.
You got a steak every now and again. You've got to have something, haven't you?
We've kind of run out of time. I just want to say to all you single women out there, Cindy, pay attention to this. You're going to probably want to ask Joe tonight about his appearances earlier on in television on a series called Loose Women. So you're going to want to find out what was exactly going on there, and who knows?
No comment.
Thank you very, very much for being with us.
Thank you.